All right, what's up, my people? This is your host SG, and this is another sixth session of the studio session. Rather, we're going to be working on a new beat today, kind of relatively new. I mean, this was a bare structure. I made this beat a couple of, I would say, almost a year ago, I think, or actually a couple of months ago. It's just been sitting there. It's really incomplete. We need to clean it up a little bit, EQ some of the instrument. Well, actually, all the instruments, and then mix and master and everything. And then let's see what it sounds like without anything done. I mean, this is a very old project. I'm pretty sure most of you producers out there, you've got projects that are just sitting in your computer and you want to complete it, but it's like you're missing something or you don't have the drive to finish it. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. Yeah. So I think today what we're gonna do is I'm going to try and freaking get this done. So let's hear what it sounds like, and then we'll see what we want to change.
Chill Out Records. Chill Out Records.
Shit. Okay, that sounds pretty good. I mean, without without even touching it, like it's very basic, bare bone. It sounds really good. I kind of like the whole piano riffs and all that kind of stuff, and all these other smaller intricate details with the pianos and stuff. It sounds really nice. Obviously, transitioning from verse to chorus, there's always I'm not really very good at that transition. I think we'll have to smoothen that out. Even the strings, I feel, need a little bit more easing into. They sound like they're just coming in very quickly, so we might want to change that. The other thing about the kick is it's too bassy, and the bass line comes in really late, so we might want to change that. I don't know if I can bring in the bass line earlier. Let me see. Let me see. What if I put it somewhere here? Let me hear that. How does that sound?
Chill Out Records.
It's not too bad, but of course, even for the bass line, I want to tweak that up a little bit. I think it's a bit. I don't know why I have two keys. It could be like an octave up and down. Playing. Let me just double check 1 second. Oh, we've got two different bass instruments. Okay. Oh, that's something interesting. Bass 1 and bass 2. Let's hear what that sounds like. All right, so it's got like a saw to it. I've added a little bit of a saw. So we've got like a simple bass. Right, and then I added a saw. But it's a very light saw. But yeah, you don't really hear it, but it adds more volume to your bass. Well, not volume. Well, volume in the sense that it sounds more fuller. If we look at the frequencies for both of these, so let's see, they're both playing on channel 2 and 3. So we've got 3. So I've cut off the high end on channel 3 for the bass, for the second bass, and the first bass is playing on channel 2. And if I play that, right, so channel 2 is cut off even more from the high end. I would have preferred having both of these on the same channel, and then I just apply one equalizer on it. I think that would make more sense, so we'll get rid of that. And let's hear the piano for a second here. Okay, it took me a while to create that, make that riff like that. It sounds really good. Now, one thing you need to remember about pianos, and even when you play it naturally, not all keys on the piano will be played at the same time by your fingers naturally, right? So right now it still sounds very robotic. Robotic in the sense that there's no delays between each keys. You can see most of these keys are still playing exactly on the exact time. So this sounds very robotic. It's not a natural sounding piano. I mean, yes, it sounds good, but I'll show you the difference once I add a strum to this. So I'll show you how to add a strum to the piano, and then we'll go through that. So it's under tools, I think. Strum, there we go. So I'll show you how to use that tool and what exactly it means to do that. And you can just do it all automated, so you don't have to manually move each freaking note. Let's look at this one here. What is this? Yeah, you see, so this one has a little bit of a strum. You can see some keys are being played slightly delayed, so it gives off that effect of like humanness to this. There has to be a little bit of mistake, some error there when you're playing an instrument. Obviously no one's perfect in the way they play instruments, so there will be some delays here and there, and that's what makes music unique and very difficult to replicate, because everyone plays instruments differently. Everyone has their own way of producing sounds from the instruments that they play. So yeah, so we will definitely change that up a little bit. You see, even though the release, if you can see, the timings of the releases of some of the keys are slightly different, but of course, still again, I mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 keys being released exactly at the same time. Now that's more robotic than a human being. And a normal human, when they release their fingers off a keyboard or off the piano board, they wouldn't release all the fingers at the same time, and they wouldn't really press all the keys at the same time. I mean, yes, it would look like they're pressing, but if you go down to the milliseconds, they're never the same. And of course, the faster you're playing the instrument, the more keys you'll hit with different timings. You see? So it's not like my fingers are exactly at the same height. In fact, even the lengths of my fingers are not the same. So that in itself should already tell you that that when someone's playing a piano, they're never going to hit the keys at the same time. So we will change that. Okay, let me stop repeating the same thing over and over. Okay, even this one will be strummed a little bit. So all of these keys, we will strum them, and then after strumming, we will equalize. And then after equalizing, if there's more reverb or whatever we want to add, or if the reverb is actually being generated by the instrument itself, like the whatever this thing is. What is this thing called? I can't remember. The generator, the oscillator, whatever it is. That already has its inbuilt reverb and delay and all that kind of stuff. So we'll tweak that as well. Because we want a more, I mean, we could use those or we could use FL Studio's filters, but I mean, if we can get away with this, we'll just use that. Yeah. Okay. Although me personally, I would prefer having my filters, everything on the mixer, because it's just easier to see and then tweak along the way as you listen to the music. You don't want to go into each instrument and then start tweaking their individual reverb and delay kind of bullshit. You know, in fact, what I would end up doing is I'd just switch all of these off. You see? So it even sounds so different without the reverb on. Yeah, you see? So reverb. So I might not even want to use this reverb. I might use my own that FL provides. And I'll put that in the mixer there. Okay, so that's what we're doing with that. The bass lines I already talked about. We're going to move all of these to one channel. All right, let's see what's next. The strings. Oh, yes. Now the strings are another story as well. You can see it's got its own reverb delay here. Now, what I would change with the strings, I think, is I would change the attack time. I think changing the attack time would help because it's like, it would sound like it's transitioning into the next key more smoothly, I guess. So maybe I'd reduce the attack time. So let's try doing that. Oh, sorry, increasing the attack time. Sorry, not reducing it. So you see, like, it eases into it. So maybe if we increase it like maxed out, if we max it out, and then even the release, we can, you know, increase the release a little bit so that even when we stop pressing the keys of the strings, well, that's how the oscillator works. You stop giving that MIDI input. It will still play it for a couple of seconds before it just dies out. So I think having a little bit of a release there wouldn't be so bad. Let's... You see, that sounds more smooth. It doesn't sound like it's just coming into your face, you know, coming into your face. What I meant was, it doesn't sound like it's just suddenly showing up. There is a little bit of you know, a transition into the strings, so you know, you kind of gradually get to listen to them coming in. So I think that makes sense. Okay, so that's a bit too... You see, and even the release, the longer the release is, it gives that really nice transition from one key to the next. It's really nice. Yeah, I think that sounds right. I might want to add another layer of the same, but it sounds good so far. Well, let's hear the lead keys. Oh, this is the star of the show. The way this sounds, oh, this is amazing. I'm not going to change any of these notes. All I'm going to do is maybe I might increase the volume a little bit on these. I think they need to really stand out in the chorus. All right, so we'll not really change this as much. Obviously, these will all change channels based on the bass, based on the bass. All right, let's see what we got here. So this is a basic FBC that I've used, and I think I kind of tweaked some of the instruments that I'm using in here. Yeah, so I kind of tweaked a few things here and there. But oh, let me just make some few changes here. Turbo mode. No, actually gaming mode. You just need to keep that temperature in check, you know? Just make sure that my system isn't overheating over here. Yeah, it is overheating. So before it starts slowing down, because I'm streaming and then I'm also playing the thingy and I'm recording. Yeah, it's doing quite a lot of stuff. So, all right, cool. What else was I gonna say? So obviously, if you've not used an FBC before, the way I kind of tend to normally use it is it's very easy. It auto generates all the keys for you and just places them into the freaking piano roll. So all you need to do is just select the one that you want, and then that's it. So I selected something like a breakbeat, I guess. So it sounds like that. Yeah, it sounds pretty decent, I guess. Not too bad. Yeah, I used the hi-hats from the same breakbeat FPC.
Chill Out Records.
Yeah, that's of course the tag. Okay, so I guess then what else do we need here? Okay, so let's start off with the bass lines. So let's move the bass lines. I think we can leave them. So let's move both of these to the same channel. Okay, and so let's start off by naming our channel so we know what channel is what. That's the thing. I know it's time consuming. You know, people don't really like to name their channels. They'll just have input 1, input 2, insert 1, insert 2. But it's healthy to rename and because look, if you think about it, right, the bigger the project gets, the harder it is going to be for you to manage all the different instruments that you are playing. So just try and follow some kind of pattern here. So we're just gonna let me just quickly do this ASAP. Let's make this green. Which green was this? It's kind of difficult to tell sometimes. Okay, anyway, whatever. Fine. So that's going to be the bass, and then the strings will be yellow. Yellow, yellow, yellow. So let's have that yellow for the strings, and that's going to be now, the strings will now move to channel 3. So obviously I did have some effects on that, but we'll whatever that. So let's, actually, you know what? Hold on a second. Let's just do this. Let's move this back to channel 4. So let's move it like this, the right way. There we go. So you can see now the strings have moved. So I did Alt left, so that moved that. And then the leads can be on channel 4. So let's move channel 5 to channel 4. And then channel 6 to channel 5. Yeah. Well, we need 5 actually to move. So wait, hold on a second here. So the lead keys are on channel 4. The breakbeat thing is, the FBC is on, so can I just rename this to FBC? the FPC is on channel 5, so that's okay. And then channel 7 is the tag, and we'll move that to channel 6. Perfect. So we've got 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. All right, so let's rename these on this side as well. Channel 6 is the tag. Channel 5 is FPC. So let's change the icon and the color for this. FPC can be the shitty brown that I picked there. Right. And then insert 4 is the lead keys. Yeah, this is the one for the lead keys. These are, I guess, for the chorus. So we'll make it blue like it is over there, I guess. We'll try and be a bit consistent with that. And then, of course, the strings are yellow. Oops. Make this yellow. Okay, so done. Right, so everything now makes sense to me. We know what is what. So if I play this frickin' beat from the beginning.
Chill Out Records.
Oh. Yeah, so it looks like everything's playing where it's supposed to play. So that sounds super, super awesome. Now, what's the next step? The next step is to look at each instrument and like equalize it, I guess. Equalize and so remove the frequency ranges that you're not really interested in. So, you know, every instrument has a specific frequency range that it best plays in. So, you know, for pianos, obviously, we don't want anything in the low end too much, you know, because that's going to muffle out or interfere is the right word to use, interfere with your bass line. So let's start off with the pianos. So what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to solo out the pianos. And we're just going to play the entire song with the pianos on. I'm going to get rid of this reverb. So we start off by equalizing the pianos. Okay. So it looks like I have done a little bit of magic here. Okay, let's get rid of this playlist. All right, let's see what we can do on the reverb side. One thing you need to remember about reverb is also it would tend to increase the bass as well. So even if you have EQ'd the bass out, you know, anything below whatever this frequency was, what was this? 189. Actually, you know what? Let's reduce this a little bit. Let's increase this a little bit. Let's say 200 hertz. Yeah, so we just start tapering off anything below 200 hertz because this is now where our kicks and our bass line are going to sit, and I don't want my piano interfering with that too much. I mean, even a piano below, you know, even in this range, it still does sound bassy. You know, you can hear that even right now as it's playing. There's a little bit of bass. Of course, the higher the keys, then you don't really hear that much. But yeah, you see that? I mean, okay, 150 doesn't sound so bad. You know, we can keep it at 150. You know, we just have a little bit of that bass line. Yeah, a little bit of bass in the piano. I don't mind. Doesn't sound so bad. So in the reverb, obviously we don't want too much bass. So bass multiplier. Yeah, let's get rid of that. We don't want that. So in terms of the size, we'll just max out the size. We'll max out the diff. The speed is okay. Crossover. We want the crossover to be at a slightly higher frequency, I think. I guess it's all about like tweaking these values until you kind of like what you hear. Like it, you know, it sounds reasonably good because the piano is like the main structure of the entire freaking beat. So if the piano doesn't sound good, I kind of feel like there's still a little bit of that bassy, echoey kind of thing. I don't know what it is. I can't really put a finger on it. Like some kind of harmonics playing in the in the low end. I might need to cut it out a little bit. Let me see if I can. Yeah, that sounds much better now. I kind of like that. It sounds much better. It's more cleaner. I kind of feel like you can hear each key very clearly. Okay, I wanted to kind of increase the echo effect. I don't know why. I just want to do it. Let me just give it a try and see what happens. So ER is early reflections. Early reflections are like the first reflections that you get after something echoes. The lower the early reflections are, it gives a sense of a bigger room or a bigger space. Because if you think about how sound travels, it's like it will originate from a source, it will go and hit a wall or something, and then bounce back. And then when it bounces back and reaches back to you, that's the first early reflection of the sound. And the lower this is, it gives that impression that, okay, actually, you know what, these walls are way far apart. They're really far away. Sorry, and then that gives off that feeling of space. You see, so although they have this option of size, which I don't know what the hell this does exactly, room size, but I don't know. But anyway, I think yeah, I could be wrong, but yeah, that's my understanding of an early reflection. And then the wet level is and the dry level is obviously the input source, and the wet level is the output source of after the effect. So if I remove wet level, I mean the dry level completely, you'll just hear only the echo. You won't hear the original input source. So this is what it would sound like, only the reflection back of the audio of the sound. Yeah. And it's yeah, it is what it is. But obviously you wanna have the dry level up there. So if, let's say, if the dry levels are like well, we can't have 100% dry level. Let's put it at 90%, and then maybe reduce the wet level a bit more. Yeah, actually having the dry level 100%, wet level 80%, and then the early reflections can sit at like 20 or 20, let's say 30%. Yeah. Yeah, then we've got stereo separation. So how phased out do you want this to sound? I wouldn't want to phase differentiate the pianos, because you know, these are like the main pianos. You want this to be playing on the center channel. If you remember Dolby surround sound, we would have left, right, center, and then left, right, back. And I would want this coming out from the center speaker, so we wouldn't really phase differentiate that. We wouldn't like phase the different channels left, right. It would, yeah, I would just leave it at 0%. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let's move on to the bass line. Let's work on this bass line because it sucks. It really sucks. So let's see. Yeah, this is really ugly. So obviously I don't want a reverb on the bass. What the freaking hell was I thinking? And let's get rid of this. From my past experience, past session, I mentioned that the equalizer over here sucks. So let's first remove all the effects that we've got on each of these. So reverb and the delay, we're not going to have any of these. So reverb's off, and reverb's off here. Okay, so let's start off with the first one. Oh, the first one sounds really good. I like it. Let's see what it looks like on the EQ. I was removing the wrong thing. Sorry. My bad. Okay, so you want to cut off high end, obviously. So let us cut off the high end. And we want a sharp drop off because it's like, I do not want to hear anything in a bass line. I wouldn't really want anything below, above I would say 200. But then again, that being said, I just remembered I would rather, because we've got two bass lines and the other one's a saw. So, and the saw, you know, has a little bit of mid end. So, like, if I cut off the low end for this, and then I just do, what the hell am I doing? 1 second here. Let's play. Can you hear that? You can hear that. It's got, let me increase the volume of that. I do not like that. That does not sound right. So let's change this saw and use something else that would complement this this bass line. But first, before we do that, let's fix this up. I want this to be the driving factor of the bass, which sounds, I think this sounds amazing already. It's got like a weird wave to it, like it's not a consistent sine wave. It's got a little bit of a, I don't know if you can see it over here. Yeah, you can see. So it oscillates between 62 and 125. Oh, that is such a nice bass line, man. Ooh. You know, like for a bass line to be interesting, right? You want it to be, you know, you just don't want a basic sine wave sitting in the back. You need to have some kind of something interesting to make it sound different than just a normal bass line, you know. If it oscillates like that, or if it has some kind of saw or buzz to it, or it pulsates, or it shifts in pitch. So, I mean, there are all these different tricks that you can try to do to your bass line to make it sound interesting, I guess is the word, yeah. Okay, first off, let me remove this because we're not going to be using this. I might use one of these, and it's going to be something like that, because I might want to increase or cut off certain aspects based on my kick, because my kick, remember, is going to fill in one of these gaps over here in the bass line. So it's like if the kick comes in at 50 hertz or the kick comes in at 80 hertz or 90 hertz, I want to clip a little bit off from the bass line at that frequency so that it gives room for my kick to fill in that space. That's what you want to do. Well, that's what I would do. And I don't think I want to cut off the low end completely like that, completely drop it off, because like I've just mentioned, the second bass that I'm going to mix together with this would essentially focus more on the mid range, low to mid range. So something between, let's say, 100 to 300 hertz. So the second bass line, I wanted to concentrate its frequency around that area, and the actual bass line will obviously be below, anything below 100 hertz. So I think that's a good strategy. So let's try and achieve that. Okay, so let's look at the first bass line. Let's get rid of this because, well, we'll just leave it at 0. So we'll reset that. And I want to use something that will just flatten, reduce the volume on the low end. So I want something exactly, that's what I want. So I don't know what the name of this, high shelf. Okay, that's what it's called. Whatever, fine. So we're going to do that, and we're going to go like, okay, anything above 200 hertz, we just want to like really just lower it. I don't know. I think this is a bit too drastic. Let's try something a bit more. Actually, hang on a second. Let's try this. Let's actually just stick to a cutoff. Okay. And then we'll just taper it off like really like a lot. Let me see if I can do that. Yeah, there we go. because what this does is we will still have some frequencies being played in the mid range, and that's what I want for my bass line this time around. So let's go all the way to 500. Yeah. No, 500. Yeah, 500 there. So it's like, oh, but that's quite a lot. Let's do that. And then let's taper that off like that. Yeah, there we go. So like 300's here. Let me zoom in if I can. So we've got 300's there, and that's 200, and that's 100. So we want something in the 200 to 250-ish range. So let's move this slightly a bit more, somewhere there. I think that, okay, 350 completely cuts off, but it tapers off from 250. Okay, I think that's good. Yeah, and then this will obviously then will move that according to the kick, but once we get there. So let's hear this. Oh yeah, that's nice. That is fucking nice. Okay, and let's play this. Okay, so now this is the saw, and let's hear which freaking keys is this being played on. So this is being played on A3. I might want to copy this and move it at the same level as that. All right, let's change the instrument itself and try and pick something that has a bit more buzz to it, I guess. These are dance leads, right? So it's not even a freaking bass line. Hard saw. That sounds weird. I don't know. I might want to play both of them at the same time and then just cycle through, I guess, and see what sounds. Ooh. Yeah, sounds a bit weird, but. You want to find something that complements your bass line. So you don't want something that's gonna interfere with the bass. So it would be like anything in this frequency. You want something that specifically plays in this range. Obviously, I liked Butterfield, was it? Or Buzz Me? This has potential. You know why? Because let me try experimenting it with a higher octave. A5. Maybe. No. Ooh. That's simple. I like it. Ooh, that's not bad at all. It's very, it really just merges with that bass line. I kind of like it. I like it. I like it. Okay, so let's move on to the next instrument. Obviously, all of these will be tweaked later on. Even for the strings, I mean, I'm just going to do the same thing, literally. I'm just going to cut off anything in the low end for the strings we don't want. Yeah, we'll just cut off the strings a little bit. Not too much, though. And I might increase the high end a little bit here. Let's reduce that release. Oh, sorry, increase that release a little bit. Beautiful. That just sounds beautiful. All right, let's go on to the next instrument. Yeah, this got a lot of bass in it, and I do not want to hear that. So let's cut it off. Nice. I might want to add a little bit more reverb to this. Maybe what I can do. I mean, this reverb doesn't sound so bad. Nice. Yeah, that sounds really good. Let's have a look at the next one, which is the FPC. Oh, the FPC. Oh man. This is gonna be another one. Breakbeat. Let's rename this to FPC. FPC. Rename. FP. Oops. FPC, and then the next channel will be the hi-hats, yeah, which is fine, which is still FPC. All right, so this is going to be a tricky one because we've got all the instruments, well, most of them, the bass, I mean the kick, the closed hats, all of these percussions and all these kind of things into one channel. There is a way to like separate it out, but I think it's just too much work, you know, like you can literally say output to a specific channel over here. Like if I wanted this kick to be outputted to, let's say, channel 7, because 7's not being used, so we say 7. Let's hear this. Is it that? Yeah, you can see, oh sorry, 7 is actually channel, oh yeah, so output is 2. Looks like it's 2 from, so well, it looks like it's based on the position. So if FPC is here on channel 5, then it's like a 5 plus 2 then, I guess. Yeah, so if I wanted, I could actually output all the FPC onto all of these channels and then link all these channels to the FPC, I guess. And then FPC goes to master. But that's too much work, man. I ain't getting paid for this shit. So I'm gonna do it the easy way. So the easy way is, let me see the easy way. 1 second here. Let me adjust this microphone. The easy way would be to just master everything in one channel here. Just add an EQ here and just equalize everything. All right, let's see what we have. The easy lazy way. All right, let's do the easy lazy way. Okay, obviously for the let's move this microphone a minute. Give me a minute here. Okay, so obviously for the kick, we want to reduce the bass on the kick, and we can see what frequency it's normally hitting at. And I think we can let's do this. Let's solo out some of these instruments here. So we've got so how do I do that? Is there a way to solo out the, oh yeah, actually, you know what, let's move each of these to their own separate channel and then just play that channel on its own. Yeah, so it's just this one. Okay, and then let's move this. Oh, sorry. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So let's hear how this kick sounds like. Let's EQ the kick itself, I guess, and then we'll EQ each instrument. Well, not each instrument, but well, the instruments that we were most focusing on. So we'll do the kick first. Is this even working? Is this even on? Is it because the FPC is on? Yeah, all right. Okay, so it wouldn't work like that. All right, cool. So we'll just, oh man, shit. Let's go and just remove that from here. And let's remove that from here. And let's only play the FPC. And then open the EQ. Okay, so it looks like 55 hertz. So all we need to know, all we need to do, so we've memorized it's 55 hertz. So what we're going to do is we're going to, what the frickin' French is going on here? So let's just let's minimize this, close that off. Let's go to our baseline, open our baseline, and then we know that at 55 hertz is where our kick is coming in. So we'll move this to 55 hertz. 55, and then we'll just clip off, let's say 4 dB. Yeah. So we'll do 4 dB there, and then in the kick over here in the FBC, we'll make this maybe 3, I guess, or 2 dB up. So it'll really emphasize that kick to come in and do its thing. Now, for the bass, we want to cut off anything below that, below 55. So we would go in and really just do something like that. So it looks like the clap's coming in at around 250. So we'll just reduce that slightly there. And we don't want it to be too jarring to the ears. And I've just kind of increased the high end a little bit. We want a little bit of that what is it called? The high end to give off this feeling of presence. Yeah. Yeah, it sounds more like a live instrument. Now, if we wanted to add a little bit of reverb, we could do that over here. And I think I don't know if I want to add reverb here. I mean, the rest of the instruments had reverb on them. I think actually, you know what? Let's add a little bit of reverb onto this. Just a little bit. Just a teeny tiny touch. You know, make it sound like it's in a studio, small studio, yeah. But obviously yeah, that sounds like shit. So that's like a drum room. Yeah, okay, whatever. But we'll just reduce it slightly. It gives off this impression that it's being played in a huge area, like a concert or something, I guess you can say. No, actually the drum room makes it feel like it's being played in a drum room, yeah. But we'll just reduce it slightly so it's not overwhelming. So it's a nice preset. I like it. It's good enough. All right, it will do the job. And then Chill Out Records tag. Let's hear how that sounds like.
Chill Out Records.
That sounds perfectly fine. We've not got effects on it. Yeah, so that's fine. Okay, cool. I think we are good to now listen to this entire song, and let's of course, inside your whatever, just unmute all the other things.
Chill Out Records.
Okay, so the bass line looks like it's really loud and it sounds a bit weird. So we can just reduce that a little bit there.
Chill Out Records.
Yeah, the bass line sounds a bit off. I don't know what's going on with it. It sounds, oh yeah, because of this. 1 second here. Let me just tweak this a little bit here. Yeah, I might need to change the keys on this bass line. It sounds like shit. I don't know what the freaking hell just happened. But you see now, after EQing it, and now we're listening to the right frequencies, we can see it's kind of out of tune. It's like if I just... Yeah, that bass line is so out of tune. So we might want to change that a little bit. Actually, if I played without this that loud. The reverb on the piano is a bit too much, so I might want to reduce that slightly. Increase early reflections. Let's see that. That sounds okay. Let's hear that with the strings. The strings are not changing fast enough. We might want to reduce that attack a little bit. Man, that sounds really good. One more thing is, I think the FPC is a bit too loud. I want to reduce that a little bit there on the... God damn, that sounds good. Oh, there's a little bit of a clip on that. Oh shit. Let me see if I can reduce that a little bit. It's slightly there. Might need to add some saturation for it. Holy shit. I think this sounds amazing for now. Obviously, in the next session, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change these FPCs to have different types of rhythms and like different types of like tunes, I guess, or like, well, not tunes, but like I would want them to play like different what would I call it? Like it would play in a different way. As you transition from like the verse to the chorus, or even from the bridge or something to the chorus or something like that. I want to have like some kind of when you play an FPC the same the whole time, it does sound a bit boring. Obviously I have added a bit of hi-hats over here to like to differentiate between we're coming into the chorus or something, or the bass line's coming in, but we want to tweak these a little bit. So like something over here, I might want to decide to add some kind of flair or something like a change in step or something over here. I'd want to do that over here, something. So I'd just add something over here and over here. And even over here, before we get into the chorus, just to, it would be a different instrument that would play over here, like a different kind of an FPC kind of thing that would play. Not the tag, obviously, it would be something else, So track 12 can be maybe a different type of FPC. So FPC pattern 1, and then FPC pattern 2, and then 3 would be somewhere here. Yeah, I think that's what I want. And then the tag, obviously, I'll just move it down. But that's essentially kind of what I'm looking for, to give it a little bit of, like it gives off that feeling like someone else is playing and they're just adding more kicks and claps in a different pattern to give it a bit more flavor and rhythm and spice, and keeps it entertaining, I guess, in the sense, you can't just be listening to the same piano riff and the same strings and all that. I mean, you're adding all these different instruments coming in later on, the bass line, the strings, and all that kind of stuff. But also the FBC, the way the kick and clap is being played together with the cymbals, I think you want to change that up, switch that up a little bit to make this song interesting. So I think in the next session we're going to be doing that. I mean, damn, it just sounds amazing with the whole the EQ and the reverb and everything. God damn, it sounds amazing. Anyway, I got another session in 30 minutes, so I'm gonna go take a break. And thank you guys for checking out the channel. God damn, 1 hour 30 minutes, 1 hour and 10 minutes session. I think this was a good session. Made some good progress. I think the beat sounds amazing, and I'll just play it before we call it a day.
Chill Out Records.